Hello. Oh my goodness. I don't know where to put you. You're not on your stand, so I'm just gonna keep you like that. Hello. I'm back. I'm back. I know I was gone, but now I'm back. It's good to be back. Really good to be back. I've got to do a few things. Let me get this on before I actually start talking. Okay, today I've got to do a few things. Prague, first off, let's talk about Prague. Absolutely amazing. I could not, it was only a 3-day trip because we literally went to a hostel. I think it's called a hostel. We went to a hostel, stayed there for 2 nights, and then we just basically toured around the city. It was beautiful. Honestly, it was beautiful. I took loads of footage. So as its own kind of self-project, I'm going to be working on a tour of Prague montage type of thing. And I filmed literally all of it on my iPhone. I went through a bunch of settings and I made it all the way that it's supposed to be when you're shooting professionally on an iPhone. Filming in logs is actually insane. Now, I know that might sound weird. It's like, how do you not know this? You did a film degree. We haven't filmed in logs yet. We don't have access to that yet. I'm pretty sure we have access to doing that in second year. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. Because filming in logs, even on this, when I changed a couple things with the colour grading and it didn't blow everything out of proportion, all the colours were in fine tune, but they were really vibrant, it was actually insane. My mind was actually blown at how impressive this phone actually is when you know how to use the camera properly. Absolutely insane. I absolutely loved it. I took loads of photos as well. Definitely going to be posting those on my Instagram. But yeah, it was just a really nice trip. And honestly, I messaged my friends afterwards. I was like, in second year, when we're all available, we should actually just go on these kinds of trips around to different cities and stuff. And just take photos, go out for dinner or something, just hang out. And honestly, I want to do more of that stuff. That was great. But welcome back to another log. And today, I'm basically just going to be working on my Minecraft hardcore video. I'm not going to start or kickstart the 4 videos a week type of thing yet because things are kind of uncertain. Tomorrow I have a phone interview. I'm not going to say any more details about that. That's about as much as I can really say. And I don't really want to kind of be getting into trouble in any kind of regard, even though it might not even cause trouble. But I've got an interview tomorrow. I've just got to do a little bit of research about that. Actually have reasons for wanting to work there and stuff. And yeah, hopefully I can get that because then having an extra source of money would be absolutely amazing. And I'll probably stick with that job as well because it'll just keep me busy throughout the semester and stuff, and also just another source of income. There's nothing wrong with a little bit more money. I've been a bit sick. I got sick over Prague. I was still able to function and everything, but it got really bad on the last day on the way back. And so basically I've just been out of it for a couple days. So now I'm kind of back to normal health. But yeah, hardcore video wise, I'm going to go back to my original plan of, not doing more footage for the hardcore video. I'm actually going to make the Wither Fight Battle Fight its own thing, because something that I realised is that when I try and cope with other things, or I try to skip over things in the world for that series especially, I just don't seem to want to do anything with it. It's very much make a video on what you've done recently, upload it, then play the game again and move on to other things. Right now I'm just kind of in that state where I'm just I could just kind of run over everything oh yeah, I did this by the way, but I've got the footage and it's good footage, so I'm going to use it. And I'm going to make it its own video and then move on to another one about building the Ocean Monument up. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do for the entire day. Just got to lock in for a while. It won't be too difficult. I'm not planning to get this done all today, but I'll see how much I can get done. Hopefully I can get everything compiled together and cut properly. And then yeah, see how the day treats us afterwards. Not really planning on doing anything else today. It's a Sunday. And then tomorrow, back to gym, and yeah, just keeping on, I guess. So yeah. So first clip has been edited down. It's at 7 minutes at the moment. It's not a lot of time on the time scale, but that's where we are. More specifically, we're at 6 minutes and 59 seconds. Also, sorry about the airplane. I can't do anything about that because it is really hot, so I've got all my windows open. I've even got a fan there. I should probably turn that on. We're at 6 minutes and 59 seconds. I'm going to take a break, have some lunch, and then come back to it and splice together the other clips. Basically, all I'm doing right now is just a rough cut. I've put in a couple markers of things that I need to do to refine it, but this is kind of the process that I do for my projects, basically. So if I actually show you, if I just come over here, that's DaVinci. This is the hardcore video. And as you can see, it's really not a lot of like actual editing work on the timeline. It's just splicing together clips and making sure that everything sounds alright, everything sources together alright, the cuts, there's no like random cuts that seem out of place or anything, and speech-wise, things are coherent. So we're doing alright at the moment, basically just rambling about what we're going to do in the video, and then I'm pretty sure the next clip is me going into the nether to find 2 more with the skulls. So gonna take a break, gonna eat something, then gonna come back to this after about 10ish minutes. Yeah, make sure to schedule in breaks when you're doing editing. It's really effective, and actually I should put on my glasses. But this is basically my life for the day. Yeah, okay, so now that I'm back from my little lunch break, I'm gonna take about 10ish minutes, 20ish minutes to just digest my food and practice my language learning. So I've installed Duolingo because I was just bored, really. This is just kind of a way to pass the time in amongst other things rather than being on like TikTok or something. If I want to consume media and such, TikTok's not really the best place to do it. I mean, I'll scroll when I'm like eating food or something, for example, but like when I'm just doing nothing, I don't really like scrolling. Instead of like, you know, being on TikTok or Instagram, I'll be on YouTube. Or I'll watch something on the TV. I know that doesn't sound like an insane difference, but it is quite a difference because I'm doing less of a scrolling and more of just like an intake of kind of content, for example. So when I'm watching YouTube or something, I'm choosing the video, I'm actively choosing to watch a video. If I'm bored off of it, I just click off of it. But yeah, so it'll either be like YouTube or I'll be watching something on the TV. At the moment, right now, I'm watching Squid Game, Season 3, because oh my goodness, what an absolute turn of events Season 3's ended up being. I actually just want to binge the whole series, but I have other things that I need to get done, so I have to keep myself to about 2 episodes a day at the moment, so it shouldn't be too long before I finish it. But that's being done. I'm starting to watch more movies, so I've gotten through the Harry Potter franchise. I'm on Deathly Hallows now, part 1 and 2. I've got to get through those. And then finally, I'll have watched that franchise all the way through. It has been a long time since I've actually been able to get through this series, because I've always put it off after Deathly Hallows. I've never watched Deathly Hallows, so I'm glad I'm finally able to watch it. I might even watch that tonight. Actually, no, I won't watch that tonight because tonight I'm watching K-pop Demon Hunters with my sister. I've been learning Japanese because I want to. You know, it's not really something I'm actively like, you know, doing for any reason. Really, I'm just kind of learning it because I want to, and it's a way for me to not be on TikTok and rather be on something that like I can practice and like, you know, kind of do a thing about. Learning a language on Duolingo may not be the best thing, but at least it keeps me off TikTok, and that's really the main thing. If I was like super interested in learning the language, I'd be learning it a little bit more actively. But all I can say, so yeah, we're just gonna go ahead, go into Duolingo right now, and just practice, and then afterwards get back to the editing. So 20ish minutes on this, not even 20 because I've only got a certain amount of energy points, and yeah, then back to the video, editing the next segment. Yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, you haven't really moved from this kind of position. Sorry, I was just making sure that the lens was fully zoomed out. Yeah, you haven't really moved from this position. I've edited some more. We're now at 18 minutes and 23 seconds, so coming up to about the same length as that most of my hardcore videos are at, which are mostly around, I don't remember, like 20 minutes to 30. I feel like that's usually the length of these videos that I like to go for. I think most of my hardcore videos have actually been like, there's been one that's been like 20-ish minutes, and I think that was episode 1. But most of them are around 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes more so. But I like to stick between like 20 to 30 minutes. That's usually where I aim for, because I feel like that's kind of the the length of a long form video that doesn't feel like it's, you know, that long. But you can tell it's like, okay, I'll sit down and watch this, and it's just before people start to like drift off with stuff. Going all right. I've edited basically all the footage that I need for it so far, and the last clip that I'm going to edit for this one is the Wither battle, which hopefully I'm actually not going to have to touch a whole lot, because I want you guys to watch kind of the whole battle come out in its entirety. I'm not going to say what happens in it. But yeah, that's coming along quite nicely, and yeah, just gonna again take a few minutes, just rest my eyes, splice that together. I'm not gonna look at it today. I'm gonna look at this tomorrow with a pair of fresh eyes, and then just be like, okay, I can clean this cut up here, I can clean that cut up there, and then I've put markers in for where I need to add a few more things to like the raw cut before I start doing a bunch of effects and stuff. And they're just like tags which basically says that like add an explanation here, add an insert video here, those kinds of things. So yeah, we're going along right. Yeah, let's do it. You haven't really moved from this location the whole of filming. But the video is now at 33 minutes and 47 seconds in terms of the rough cut. I didn't really need to do a whole lot of like cutting for this Wither battle. There's a couple times where I do, but to be honest, in of its entirety, I think it's just better to show the entire Wither battle, because there's points in which I just get really, really silent, and that's points where I can kind of cut in between, but it's just a hectic experience, and I think it's cool for people to be able to actually witness that as opposed to glazing over it. This definitely works as its own episode. Definitely way better as its own episode. I can't imagine how big the next episode might have been if I included this to be part of a whole other project. So yeah, it's going all right. I've got one more recording of footage to go through. Gonna take just a few minutes to just like detox from that, because I was quite intense. So I've been sitting here for about 30 minutes just going through that footage. And yeah, come back to it tomorrow, review the footage and editing, spice it together, everything like that, and yeah, all finished on that side. So doing good, doing really good. Anyways, see you in a bit. We're done. The video comes out to 38 minutes and 13 seconds. It's pretty long, but I'm alright with that. I'm just gonna tilt you down because I can't be bothered to sit up straight. Yeah, just long process. Glad I did it this way and not any other way though. This was a better way to do it, I think, in terms of like the episode structure. And then next episode we're gonna work on an actual different project. Each video I like to have a specific subject that I like to keep around, kind of build a story around, and yeah, I think this is the right way to do it. So anyways, that's it. I'm so tired. Oh jeez. Okay, well, I'm going to stop editing this today, and that's all I can say about that. Yeah, okay, so now that that's done, good, nice, productive day, busy. Woke up a little bit late because of the holiday and stuff, still going back to my normal body clock, but now, tomorrow should be all good. And then, yeah, that's about all I can say. Anyways, I think I can end the vlog here as well, because it's a good place to end it. This is not a good position. Thank you guys for watching today's vlog, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? I'm tired. I'm gonna go and watch another episode of Squid Game, probably. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright? Okay. Alright. Bye. Bye.